Namashivaya. Myself Krishnananda. Today, we the students of class 9A from group 3 are going to do an activity on the topic electoral politics. Reji and I are handling the topic electoral constituency as well as Sam Grigat Chungadra 3rd constituency, Daksh Baiju voters list and myself nomination of candidates and Amrita CS election campaign, Medansh Madhu polling and counting the votes and finally Advait Rajiv result declaration.
Om Nam Shivaya. I am Shreya Nair of class 9A. Here I am going to talk about electoral constituencies. Our India is divided into different areas for the purposes of elections. These areas are called electoral constituencies. The voters who live in an area elect one representative. For Lok Sabha election, our India is divided into 543 constituencies. The representatives elected from each constituency is called a Member of Parliament or an MP. Each state is divided into specific number of assembly constituencies. In this case, the elected representatives is called the Member of Legislative Assembly or an MLA. Each parliamentary constituencies has within it several assembly constituencies. The same principle applies for panchayat and municipal election. Each village or town is divided into several wards that are like constituencies. Each ward elect one member of the village or the urban local body. Sometimes these constituencies are counted as seats. For each constituency represent one seat in the assembly.
Om Namah Shivaya. Myself, Sam Grieger of Group 3 from Class 9A is going to speak about the reserved constituencies. Our country India is a very large and diverse country which includes different sections of people that belong to upper caste, lower caste, backward sections, etc. It is necessary that the voices of all the people should reach the government in order to shape the decisions made. These voices include the voices of the people belonging to the backward, lower caste sections. However, the richer and stronger sections of the society are having greater chances of winning the elections against those people who belong to backward classes. And in order to remove this problem, the constitution makers had come up with a special and interesting idea. Let us see what it is.
Our constitution gives every citizen his or her right to elect his or her representative and to be elected as a representative. However, the makers of the constitution were scared that in an electoral competition, some weaker sections won't be able to get elected to the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assemblies. The people belonging to these weaker sections won't be having much education, resources, and contacts to contest and win elections against the powerful people. The powerful and richer sections of the society who contest in election will win the election against these poor and weaker sections, and the society would be deprived of the opinions and decisions of these weaker sections, which would make our democracy less democratic. So our constitution makers thought of the system of reserved constituencies for those weaker sections of the society. For example, some constituencies are reserved for weaker sections such as scheduled caste SC and scheduled tribe ST. In the scheduled caste reserved constituency, only those people who belong to the SC community can contest the elections. Similarly, only those people who belong to the scheduled tribe community can contest the elections for the ST reserved constituency. Currently, 84 seats are reserved for the scheduled caste and 47 seats are reserved for the scheduled tribes in the Lok Sabha. This number of seats is proportional to their share in the total population, and therefore the reserved constituencies for SC and ST groups do not take away the legitimate share of any other social group. This reserved constituency system was much beneficial that this reservation system was extended later to other weaker sections at the district and local level. In many states, seats in rural and urban bodies are reserved for OBC group. However, this reservation varies from state to state. Similarly, in the case of women, 1/3 of the seats are reserved in the rural and urban local bodies.
About voter list. Voter list is a detailed record of every person who is registered and eligible to vote. The voter list also includes relevant information used to identify voters and assign them to a specify electric district and polling station. Thank you, Om Namah Shivaya.
Anyone who can vote can also be a candidate in an election. The only difference is that in order to be a candidate, the minimum age is 25 years. It is only 18 years for being a voter. Political parties nominate their candidates who get the party symbol and support. Party's nomination is often called party ticket. Any person who wishes to contest an election has to fill a nomination form and give some money as a security deposit. Candidate has to make a legal declaration giving full details of serious criminal cases pending against the candidate, the decision, details of the assets or liabilities of the candidate and his or her family, at last educational qualifications of the candidate. Information is made available to the public so that the voters can make their decision on the basis of the information given by the candidate. Thank you. Om Namah Shivaya.
So now I'm going to talk about election campaign.
The main purpose of election is to give people a chance to choose the representatives, the government and the policies they prefer. Therefore, it is necessary to have a free and open discussion about who is a better representative, which party will make a better government or what is a good policy. In our country, such campaigns take place for a 2-week period between the announcement of the final list of candidates and the date of polling. During these periods, the candidates contact their voters. Political leaders address election meetings and political parties mobilize their supporters. This is also the period when newspapers and television news are full of election-related stories and debates. But election campaign is not limited to these 2 weeks only. Political parties start preparing for elections months before they actually take place. So let us look at some of the successful slogans given by different political parties in various elections. The Congress party led by Indira Gandhi gave the slogan of Garibi Hatao, remove poverty, in the Lok Sabha elections of 1971. Save Democracy was the slogan given by Janata Party under the leadership of Jayaprakash Narayanan in the Lok Sabha election held in 1977. The Left Front used the slogan of Land to the Tiller in the West Bengal Assembly elections held in 1977. Protect the self-respect of Telugus was the slogan used by N.T. Ramarao, the leader of the Telugu Desam Party in Andhra Pradesh Assembly elections in 1983.
Good evening, dear teachers and my dear friends. I am Medansh Madhu of class 9A. Today I'll be speaking on the topic polling and counting of votes. So, what is polling and counting of votes? Vote counting is the process of counting votes in an election. It can be done manually or by machines. In the United States, the compilation of votes, election returns and validation of the outcome that forms the basis of the official result is called canvassing. Who counts the votes at the polls? A teller is a person who counts the votes in an election. Vote, referendum or poll. Teller are also known as poll watchers, challengers, or checkers. They should be distinguished from polling agents and counting agents who officially represent the candidates. How is vote counting done in India? An EVM consists of two units, a control unit and the balloting unit. The units are joined by 5-meter cable. Unit facilitates voting by a voter via labeled buttons, while the control unit controls the ballot units, stores voting counts, and displays the result in 7 segments LED displays. Thank you.
Shivaya. I am Advait Raju of Class 9A Group 3. I am here to talk about the process of result declaration. According to Section 64 of the RP Act 1951, votes are counted by or under the supervision or direction of the returning officer of the constituency. When the counting is completed, the returning officer declares the result as per provisions of section. A declaration vote, like every vote, is a secret ballot. Voters who wish to make a declaration vote to either enroll or update their enrollment details need to bring the prescribed form of photo identification, namely either a NSW driver license or a NSW photo card. Counting of votes is said to be done by or under the provision and direction of the returning officer of the constituency in the presence of the candidates and their agents. The law authorizes the assistant returning officer also to undertake the counting of.
We hope you all have understood our presentation. Now you know how democratic elections are conducted in our country. Thank you. Nam Shivaya.